it is useful to measure the business size? That is a question. And a government might wish to give help to small firms, so it will need to identify them. If the government wants to assist the smaller business in the country, they have to identify that what are the small businesses. Obviously, they will measure that what kind of definitions we have for the small businesses, what kind of definition we have for the medium businesses, and what kind of the definition we have the large businesses. So there is slightly something that we can use to measure the size of the business. Either we can measure on the basis of investment, either we can measure on the basis of the number of employees, either we can measure on the basis of return. So what is the best idea that we can measure the size of the any business? That is today's question that we will discuss now. So the measure of the business size. The first idea that we basically understand the business size in terms of employees. So the first measurement of any business is the number of employees. The number of employees. Small business employee have lesser worker than the business than the large business. Of course, we all know that. That is the simplest measure. It is easy to understand and clear that a business employing many employees is likely to be a large. If you have large number of employees, okay, mean business is large. Business is large. If we have lesser number of business is small. That's a clear indication to just to get understand what does it mean actually. Okay, the business category, for example, if we categorize them, any small or macro business, any small or macro business may have employees 10 or less. And in the medium, this is the general stats I'm sharing with you. For the medium, let's say we have 11 to 50 employees, and for the large, we have over 50. Over 50. This is the simplest way to measure the size of any business. If you have a greater number of employees, that means you have a large organization, or if you have a lesser employees, that means you have very much lower level of, or you have a small business in terms of number of employees. Okay, there are certain other things that we can add over there is revenue. Is revenue, or we can say or sales turnover. Sales turnover. Revenue is often used to measure the size, especially when comparing the business in the same industry. It is used to measure the business size when comparing companies or the businesses in the same industry. Businesses in the same industry. It is less effective when comparing the business in different industries. Keep in mind another thing we talk about is the negative side. Less effective when compared with different industry. Let's say we have a petroleum industry. Okay, petroleum industry, we have so many companies like Atak, Shell, PSO. Okay, so revenue you can measure within the same industry. For example, PSO you are comparing with Shell, either you comparing with Atak. Okay, you can compare within the same industry, that is very much okay to measure the revenue. For example, PSO is generating much revenue as compared to Atak. Okay, that's making sense because you are compare within the same industry. But if you compare it, let's say with a transport or food industry, that particular revenue options to measure the size of the business will be less effective. Okay, for example, if you make a comparison of the PSO with the KFC, it doesn't have a much effect, or it doesn't put any kind of a sensibility to make a comparison of the companies in the different industries. Now, what other things that we have in the revenue, because some might engage in a highly value production. Why is it less effective? Because companies engaged in high value production, firms are engaged in high value production, such as, for example, if we talk about jewelries. Okay, while other have a low value of production, such as cleaning services. Low value production, such as cleaning services, such as cleaning services. It depends on the nature of the product. One firm is investing in production of the jewelries, okay, and other one is investing, let's say, or providing the cleaning services. So that's become a less effective when you make a comparison with the both companies from the different industries. That's why we said that's become a less effective when you compare a revenue, because of course the revenue for the high value production like jewelries will be high, while the cleaning services will not be high. Okay, people can pay a double for the jewelries, but not for the cleaning services. So it depends on the nature of the product. This is how the revenue becomes a less effective when we make a comparison between the companies from different sector or the different industry. So what is the formula for to measure the sales turnover? Formula we have: total value of sale made during the time period, total value of sale made during trading period. Formula we have: selling price multiplied by quantity sold. Let's take an above example of the pen. Let's say, for example, you sold 5 pen, okay, 5 unit, or the 5 quantity in terms of the quantity, and each pen have the price of the 50. So overall, how much revenue you have generated? You have generated 250. For example, in the trading periods of your trading period depends and vary from companies to companies. Let's say it was time period of 1 week. So if I talk about that, what how much revenue you have generated within your trading period, mean within the period of 1 week, you might say 250. What does 250 means? I have sell 5 pen, and each pen carries 50 cost, or the price of each pen is a 50. So when you will multiply both of them, you will able to get your revenue of your trading period.